Welcome to London, Ontario, from the comfort of my dining room. I wanted to invite you over today. My name is Sarah Legault. I'm an artist, filmmaker, stop motion animator. I basically make music videos for bands. So what I want to talk about today is what I've been doing to keep myself busy while I'm at home. So a big passion of mine is actually gramophone machines. So I'm talking about the hand cranked, made with gears, no electricity needed. You could play wax cylinders, 78s. I've been collecting these machines from the early 1900s, and I have about 300 wax cylinders in my collection at this point. I was hoping to share some of these with you. We have brought these machines to radio shows and DJ'd back and forth between cylinders and 78s as if we were DJs from the 1910. So if you stick with me today, we can go through some of the machines and maybe I could play you a song from 1914. So the first machine I want to talk to you about is the Edison Fireside. This is a combination machine. It's a Model A and it was built in 1905. So the really cool thing about these is that the reproducer has a little switch on it that lets you play 2-minute and 4-minute cylinders. The original horn would have been a red jeweled horn that would have come off like a trumpet on an angle. This is a Sagnet horn. The original owners seem to have a preference, and this is my preference as well. You have that beautiful swan neck on it. So these do play wax cylinders. They play Amberolas. You just have to be careful when you get machines like this that you know what kind of reproducer you have, what kind of cylinders you have. Is this the right machine to play these certain cylinders? Because my other Edison player only plays Amberolas. Now this machine did belong to a good friend of mine's father-in-law. He was the original purchaser of this piece, and I was told he was also part of the Cylinder of the Month Club, which I thought was super cool because I was part of Columbia House when I was a kid, and I would get CDs on a monthly basis. I had no idea that that actually happened still back in the early 1900s. So the next machines we're going to talk about is the Victrola talking machine and the Amberola 50. So the Victrola talking machine was built in 1907. The speaker cabinet opens up. It's not really your volume control. Your volume control actually comes from the gauge of needles you're using. So you can use soft tone, medium tone, and loud tone needles. Now, the thing is, you do have to change them after every play. The 78s usually have one song per side. And the record I have on here right now is a Frank Sinatra record from 1940, and it was from Columbia Records, and it was actually pressed in London, Ontario, which I think is pretty awesome. Now, as far as the Edison Amberola 50, very similar style to the 30 series that they have, but the 50 has a wood grate on it, and it has a diamond stylus, which I really like as far as the Edison machines. The wood grate, it's my personal preference because I just feel like the sound is a little bit richer when you have that aged wood that's been sitting around for over 100 years. So this machine was built in 1911, and this is the one I want to do a demonstration for you today. So the packaging for the cylinders are typically the same. They come in these cylinder boxes with Edison's name in giant bold letters and his face on everything, and patent information so tiny you need a magnifying glass to read it. That doesn't surprise me with Edison stuff. So what I am going to play for you, though, is called Melody of French-Canadian Airs Band. When I looked into this, the recording was done in 1914, and the band that performed it was called the Edison Concert Band. So we just put it on tightly here, make sure it's snug, and then we wind this until you feel the belt starting to give some tension. You don't want to do it too much because you don't want to snap your belts. Then we flip the switch, get it to start spinning. Then we move the diamond stylus over, and then you put the lever down. And that's it. I want to thank you for joining me today and letting me explore some of this with you, and I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy. Bye.